Good evening, everybody. Hello. Hey, Carrie. Let me turn some of the lights on. Does that help a bit? There we go. Hi, Carrie. How are you doing? Oh, and you give me a thumbs up right away. Hi, Alicia. Good evening to both of you. We have Canada and Texas. Woo! Hey, Henry, Sonny. Hi. How are you doing? Sorry about all my piles of stuff over there. I don't have the luxury of just like cropping those out. Okay, but let me edit live. Can you guys hear me okay? I have my external mic set up here. Hey, Patty. You did make it in early. Hi, Megan. I sound much better. In the way of my health or the microphone? That's it. Caitlin, hello, you're here. I sound even better this week. Oh, good. It's a girls' club right now. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's Sean. Hey, Sean. Hello. How are you doing? Has winter definitely come in there and it's a little bit frigid? Hey, Matt and Sarah and family. Hello. How are you guys doing? Donna, hi. All right, we're getting the crew in here. Woohoo. Oh, thank you for listening while you're working. That's, you could be playing Christmas carols, right? You could be doing having all that going, and you choose to listen to me. Thank you. You 25 above? Whoa! You were warmer than me today. I woke up, it was 1 degree, minus 11 Fahrenheit for the wind chill. So I had Celsius in the brain. It was like, what was the other one? I knew it was. So that's why it was hard to get out. You forgot to change from your Birks to shoes before going in. Oh, it's too cold outside. It is. Hey, Julie. Hello. You guys, hello. Thank you for being here. So good to see everybody. This winter evening. We have 10 days till Christmas Eve, you guys. And this is my first day out of being contagious. So now I can go get my tree and I can be out and about and take care of things. So I still haven't been able to decorate, but I'm doing well. Ooh, the wind chill coming. Yep, an early Easter. Yep. I know, Julie, I can finally start decorating for Christmas. It seems like every December things happen and it holds me up and I don't really get to decorate until like the week before Christmas. But then I keep everything up until the end of January. So I compensate. So my 12 days of Christmas are more like 33 days of Christmas or something. I know it is just flying by. The time definitely is. Oh, well, thank you, Alicia. I don't know that I was planning on doing one just because I did last year, but we will see. Sometimes I have to just get it done without worrying about videoing it and editing and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. I'll try. Oh, so we were cold this morning. I know Matt and Sarah, I just watched your video and I know it's always like a couple days early, but did you guys get that cold? And how did your plants hold up with that kind of cold? I mean, it's like now the ground is like kind of freeze solid out there. Megan. Oh, yeah. You know, I could, but it definitely puts me into the mood and the mindset, and it does something really good for my soul and my heart to have the decorations around and the images and have the crib set up and have the different things, because then it's like it brings not only the festiveness of the day, but the real reason for the season. And so it just like I it's it just kind of wraps around me, and really helps me do that. So yes, it was cold. I did go out this morning, did a grocery pickup, and it was definitely. Oh yes, listen to Christmas carols. Absolutely, absolutely. So I don't have my lettuce here right now, but it's still it's growing. It's probably 3 to 4 inches tall already. So we'll see. I have the hardest time, and I probably mentioned this last week, but because I'm not in full blown plant starts and all this kind of thing, I come in, I forget to come in here and turn the lights on, because this isn't a room that I'm normally in during the day. So I forget to do that. So, well, hello, Southern Blessed. How are you tonight? Yeah, I woke up, it was one degree, so I think it was actually below zero during the night. But you're right, Donna. Absolutely. So yes, they are growing well. I have the lights on now. Um, so is everybody like in full blown cookie mode? And hey, Junebug, hello. Um, you're right, Patty. Actually, a couple years ago, my mom gave me like a lamp timer or something. I haven't figured out how to do that with, I have that on a power strip, but how to put a timer on a power strip and everything, because that would really be helpful. If it just went on and just went off. I prefer to actually turn off my power strips, at night rather than leave them going. But anyway, waterfall are stupid. Kiri, that's why they go on the Thanksgiving and Christmas table, and they get canned into our jars. Yep. Oh, you're teepeeing your tree. Oh, yes, that will help, Patty. Absolutely. And to get the Christmas music playing, and I need to do that too. So what have I done last week? I canned up. I don't know if I told you guys this last week, because I don't remember what day I did this. The COVID brain just kind of, it's like, when did that happen? It's like you kind of lose track of things. You really do. And so I'm hoping that it improves. But anyway, I canned up a bunch of chicken soup and some chili. And chili was gifted to me from my niece, and it's a vegetarian chili. And because I knew I wouldn't be able to get to it all, I canned up a good bit of it. So, oh, thanks, Alicia. That's really sweet. Two ducks refused to go through the gate but ran to the wrong side of the fence. Right. Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of brains. But, uh, so the one thing that I know I need to do, that I found out this last month of being sick, was that I need to can up more ready-made meals. Like doing a soup and having not just, I've always been an ingredient canner, but even the thought of even opening a can of meat and making up some potatoes or something, or noodles or something. That was exhausting, and it was like beyond what I could even deal with and cope with. So if I can have a full meal in a jar and just open it, heat it up, and then sit back down and eat it, I think that's going to be really, really helpful. So I need to focus a little bit more on that. I would, hey, Grammy Karen, hello. I would highly recommend a lot of you to be able to do that. And yeah, if you're able to, that would be helpful, because at some point, we all end up sick for some reason or another. And I mean, there are a few lucky ones out there who haven't been sick for 10 or 20 years. I don't really know anybody personally like that, but those of us who can and who preserve and put up our food, those are things that are really, really helpful. And I know some families that do a lot of that, make like a ham and potato soup or something like that, or just have a full stew in there. And I've done a number of things. I've done like chicken cacciatore and sweet and sour chicken and a bunch of other things. But I don't know. I need a variety. I can't just eat, straight chicken cacciatore for 3 weeks. so I do have chicken soup now. I do have some other things. So yeah, a canned chili. That is true. That's true, Megan. There's a lot of things with COVID, you just don't even feel like eating. Brad from Big Family Homestead and Krista, they are just getting over it. And Brad expressed it well. He lost like 20 pounds. He said, I just don't feel like eating at all. And that's very true with this. You lose your complete appetite. You don't feel like eating. Even the thought of eating is just like, can make you sick. And so, much less having the energy to eat. I did do quite a bit of like just mashed potatoes. You have to freeze meals, right? Since nobody pressure can. Okay. Yep, those meals are great. Matt's going to send one into the freezer. Okay. Oh, that's great, Sarah. You just put together your first dehydrated veggie soup mix. Nice. Oh, that is so great. Awesome, Kristen. That's great. Hey, hello, Weedy Garden. You know someone who freezes leftovers in meal-sized batches. She has special name. And I used to do that, and I kept up on it really well. And this last year, in trying to stock up some more things in my freezer, I just don't have room to even put my containers in there. So I need to, like Sarah, this winter, I need to go through and can things or cook them and mix other meals or something I need to do with emptying out my freezer so it's ready. Megan, you meal prep and freeze everything to avoid histamines and leftovers. Okay. Hey, Gardening in the North. Hello. How are you? So we will get back to my prep tip for tonight, but right now I just my garden tip is just planning, to start to plan. Even if you don't have things all drawn out and written down, everything, at least start dreaming about what you want. Look through the catalogs, look through different things. If you have a specific budget, just figure out what you can grow within your budget, what you can grow within the garden that you have. If you plan on expanding your garden space, start thinking about that now and how you can do it. And if you're in a climate where you're able to start preparing for that outside, that would be great. I can't here. I won't be able to get out till May. So, hey, Lynn, hello. Thank you, Karen. So just start, start getting the planning going. And I know it's Christmas and there's a whole lot of things, but there are moments during the day where you start thinking about, oh, this year I'd like to grow a lot more spinach, or this year I would like to put in a couple extra beds, or this year I want to do maybe a mini greenhouse, or this year I want to do this. And so you've got that desire, but then start actually writing it down. Scratch, just a sketch on paper. Just kind of start putting your ideas, your dreams, your desires for that on paper, so that maybe, after the holidays are done, you sit down and look at it and go, oh, that's right, I really wanted to do that. It's like, how can I make this happen? And so, so the word for tonight in your garden tip is planning. So that's true, Sarah. That can happen. Sometimes you just need one notebook or something for all your garden notes and stuff. But yeah, I too have different papers all over the place. So your garden is full of leaves, you rake this. Oh, that is good for it. That is very great. Karen, that's a great idea. Thank you. You were dreaming when you did the seed swap video last week. Okay. Oh. Well, I would, but some of them I don't want to reveal yet, if that makes sense. So, your husband garden means always changing. That's true. I mean, because you can't just plunk everything exactly the same as what you had it last year. First of all, you might not want to grow that same thing. You might not want to grow as much as you did, or you need to grow a whole lot more than what you did. So yeah, things have to be changing in there. In landscape design process, we tell clients to make a dream file. There you go. The far out of the budget to the simple, easy to afford things, and then use those, bring ideas from. Very good. Very, very good. Patty, I didn't know you did landscape design. That's awesome. Oh, Lynn, oh my goodness, 8 more beds. Now, the rhubarb will get huge, so don't go more than 1 or 2, because it will get absolutely huge. So, all right, I'd like to have hands up of everybody who cans. So I want to see how many people in here, because I know there are people in the homesteading community who are still just trying to kind of get their bearings with it, and they want to do it and everything, or they're growing it just for fresh eating, haven't really gotten into canning, are afraid to can, different things like that. Julie, all right. Connie, good. Hey, gardening in the north, hello. We did a few seed swaps. Yeah, it's overwhelming. Karen, I bet you will be picking that up again, though, after you get all settled in. This is a good time of the year, actually, for you to be moving, isn't it? Lisa, hello. Just put the rhubarb where you wishes. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of good to see where everybody's at with this. That's wonderful. That's awesome. Hands up for anybody who has not yet started canning, but they want to start. Okay. So Zach and Jen came to the farm yesterday and planted our greens. Oh, you already have a greenhouse there? It came with it? Nice. Oh, Grammy Karen, that's so great. You have occasionally with the histamine supplement. It's a good idea. I guess, Megan, I don't understand how canning affects the histamine. That I'm not sure. So Lynn, okay. You want to start? All right. Alicia, I can't remember if you had done Yes, start buying your jars now. Absolutely. If you don't have any or you have very few, get them a little at a time. We don't want to overwhelm the supply again. So, where people are going out and buying 20 cases every person, because it's like, oh, yeah, I need jars, I need jars. But start getting 1 or 2 cases at a time. And I do my grocery pickup, and I'll see that, oh, they've got, a case of wide mouth pints or something. And it's like, okay, I'll add that to it. By the time I'm able to go and pick it up, it's going to be a day or two later, they're gone. And so there's actually some stores that are, yes, they just disappeared. There actually some, I totally forgot what I was going to say, some jars. Oh, some stores that will not allow you to purchase jars through the pickup. You have to go in store for them. So I don't know what's happening with that, but Alicia, I was just asking if you've done any canning. So I didn't see your hand up before. Used jars are great. Just make sure that, you can take them all, but then when you get them, wash them and double check the rims. Like go along the rim and make sure that there's no chips or anything, that it's totally smooth. Inspect the jar, make sure there's no cracks or anything. And because, water bath canning is one thing, but when you go to pressure can, if there's any fractures or cracks or anything, it's going to be, it'll break your jar, and then you have a mess in your canner. So, but yeah, definitely get used. I got a lot of my quart and pint jars at garage sales. This is years ago. I haven't been out for a while looking for them because I've had enough. But basically, the longer something sits, the more histamines are produced unless it is dry, like dry beans. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go over different size jars, different kinds of jars that you can have. And then, but stick around because I do have something very, very important that I want to share with you guys at the end. So, all right, I'm going to kind of go from large to small. Now, Ball makes a gallon jar. Can't use it for canning because there's no lid big enough for that. But I use mine for kombucha, and you can use it for storing things in there or whatever. But they work great for kombucha because you just put cloth over them, and they're nice and solid and heavy duty, and I don't have to worry about them cracking or breaking if they get bumped on the counter or something like that. So finding them cheaper in the stores. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? People are asking for outrageous prices then at garage sales. Holy cow. Well, that's good, Lynn. That's good. So we do have gallon jars, and Ball makes great ones. They're expensive. They're usually about $13 or $14 for one jar. But if you only need a couple jars of those for a very specific reason, like I said, I use those to make my kombucha. The next size is a half-gallon jar. So a half gallon is 64 ounces. And that's okay, Alicia. Start with the little stuff. I think all of us did. I think all of us, the very first canning that we did was like, I'm going to make jelly. That's really easy because there's 10 minutes of processing in the water bath, and you can put in fruit and sugar and pectin, and it's like, okay, I can follow those instructions. And jelly is, because of all the sugar in there, it's something, it's preservation-wise, it's like, it's okay. I'll be able to eat them. Start with pickled onions, so yummy and easy. So this is a half-gallon jar. It's a wide mouth size. This is a ring for a wide mouth. So it fits on there. So you can actually use this to can. I wouldn't pressure can it, but this is great for like if you have like tons of apple juice and you put in a water bath. You have to make sure that your water bath canner is deep enough so that you can go at least an inch for water above this. But the half gallon are great for that, for juices. Pickles, you can throw pickles in here if you want to use this to ferment in your refrigerator, or ferment and then store it in your refrigerator. I did was it early November? Yeah, I did a cranberry and apple ferment, and I still have about this much left in it. I've since transferred it to quart jars, but that works out really good for fermenting. I also use these to store herbs in. So when you're dehydrating and everything, you can store them. So these come in usually either 4 or 6 to a pack. It depends on where you live and where you are and where you get them. So, hey, Teresa. Hi. Hi, Monica. Hello, hello. So, well, thank you, Connie. You're putting some prices up there. Yeah. So, so that's a half gallon jar. And then we go down to a quart jar, which is 32 ounces. So when you start dealing with jars and everything, and you got pints, half gallons, you know, different things, it's like, you know, 3/4 quart. You start learning your ounces really well. So it's you put goat's milk in half gallon jars. Yes, for anybody who's milking, the half gallon jars are excellent. Those are great. They store in the fridge well. They're so super duty and everything. And this is a ball one. So when you're choosing ball, they always have their signature on it. And it even says wide mouth on here, so you know what lids to get and what rings to get and everything. They usually come with them, but these also have other ounce markings on here. So here is, they have cups on this side and pints on this side. So here's 1 pint is 2 cups. 2 pints is 4 cups. So that's kind of a neat thing. So as you're filling it up, you know exactly how many cups you need in here, how many pints. All right, so now I couldn't find any empty regular mouth quart jars, so I have one that's got dehydrated stuff in. Okay, so these are both 32 ounces, which is 4 cups. 1 cup equals 8 ounces. So 32 divided by 8 is 4. So there's 4 cups that go into a quart jar. This one is a wide mouth, and this is a regular mouth. So you can see the difference there. So these are dehydrated carrots I have in here. And these jars are great for that too. I just put on a regular lid. I think I vacuum sealed this one, and then I have a moisture absorber in there just to keep it nice and dry. Hey, Grandpa's Urban Homestead, how are you doing tonight? Oh, well, Sarah, yeah, that's great. Absolutely, yeah. If you can't find your measuring cup, just pick up a pint jar, and there's like 2 cups right there, and so you can do that. Hey, Dawn, hi. Following Amazon, yeah, Amazon's jars are going to be really expensive. I think Target and Walmart are going to be your best bet, and they don't have to all be ball jars. Quart is a good brand too. Now there's, I think it's like the Walmart kind of branding thing. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think there's like a Mainstays brand of some off-brand type of thing of jars. I would hesitate to use those. I've not personally used them, and if the glass feels thin, if it doesn't feel nice and solid, there's going to be a difference. I did a video last spring or something that I actually weighed a ball pint jar and a curved pint jar, and the ball jar was, I don't know, a tenth of an ounce heavier or something like that. So they actually put more glass into it. And so do I prefer a wide mouth or regular? It all depends on what I'm canning. Like for dehydrated things, because these carrot bits are kind of small, I'm okay using regular mouth. Now, if I had bigger pieces of, let's say, zucchini or sweet potato or something like that, they were dehydrated bigger pieces, or apples, then I would want to go with a wide mouth. So it really depends on what I'm canning or storing in that way. Anchor hocking mixed jars too. You have to be careful with anchor hocking. If they were made in China, they can explode on you. The same with any of the storage jars or anything. Like if you like Pyrex, you can get like the Pyrex storage jars with the plastic lids, or any Pyrex baking dishes or anything. If they're anchor hocking, you have to be careful, because if you put them in an oven, I've seen videos on this that it can explode. So I would not use those for canning, at least pressure canning. Your local Dollarama has packs of 8 or 12 can jars. It would depend on what brand, Alicia. Yeah, Kayla, dollar stores are awesome. Anchor hocking. It's Donna wrote it up there a little bit further up. So, do I feel comfortable pressure canning or water bathing in spaghetti or mayonnaise jars? No, you don't want to use mayonnaise jars. Spaghetti jars, I have used some. Now this is a 20, I believe a 26 ounce jar. So, hey Dave, it's okay. So this is an in between. So the quart jars are 32 ounces. A pint is 16. So this is like a 24 ounce, I think. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So it would be like 2.5 pints. So this, now this is one that was actually from the brand that I got. Now you want to make sure that it says Mason on there, a Mason jar. I have used some spaghetti jars, but I've had to make sure that they are super solid, that the screw top fits, and that's the big thing. See, mayonnaise jars will not fit your rings, and so you've got to make sure that it totally screws on very, very, very well in that way. So this is another one. This is a regular mouth 24 ounce jar. I got a case of these back, and I looked at the date on my case and said 1996. So I've had these for a while. Prego spaghetti jars. Yeah, it depends on the brand too. Some of the really cheaper brands, I wouldn't use the jars on there. Yeah, Dave, only if they have standard canning lid. So that's the thing, that you want to make sure that your lid seals on and that the ring screws all the way on. But mayonnaise jars are not made thick enough for the pressure that you need to put in there. Save those, use them for dehydrated foods. I know, Julie, isn't it true? Yeah, these are kind of squarish. In that way, you can see it a little bit better there. And so they fit on a shelf really nicely that way. Okay, another 24 ounce or 2.5 pint jar is this wide mouth one from Ball. Now you can see that they're a little bit different size. You can see that this one, because it's shorter, it's wider around. But these are really nice to have as a tall thing. Now they're hard to find right now. I have not been able to find these for a long time. Oh, maybe, okay, that's interesting. So you need to double check them all while you're doing it. Hey Deb, how are you? Yep, dry goods storage, absolutely. A higgle out of that? Do you mean a giggle, or I don't know what a higgle, but you like wide mouth jars for pickles? Yes, anything that I need to go in there and get things out, I like to use wide mouth jars. So I prefer canning meat in a wide mouth jar, because when you can them, especially if you're raw packing them, they're going to come out in like this big clump. And I've seen so many people online canning them in a regular mouth, and they're trying to dig it out, and they're struggling to get them out. It's like, just put in a wide mouth jar, it's like, then you can just take the jar and you can just like dump, just all come out. So it's look at the thing that you're doing, whether it's canning or dehydrating or something. So yes, wide mouth for pickles, absolutely. The pint and a half, so we're talking about discontinuing. Okay. Yeah, I think because there was such a run on jars, I think they were sticking just to the quart, the pint, the half pint, and just the jelly jars, as well as the just quart and pint, just keeping it really straight. They had a few different things like fluted jars and different stuff like that. So your drinking jar. Yeah, and this works out really good too for a nice big glass of tea or something. All right. So those were the pint and a halves. Now we're going to go down to the pint jars. And here's a regular mouth and a wide mouth pint. So you can see the difference there. They hold the same. Now the regular mouth is going to be taller because it is narrower. It's a little shorter and squatty. Sometimes these are, depending on the brand, I think the Kerr brand might be a little bit narrower and a little taller, but they still all work the same. So this particular one, yeah, it's a ball jar. This one's a ball one too. And they say Mason on them. So you want to make sure that it says that. So these are pints. A pint is 16 ounces or 2 cups. So there you go. How long have I been canning? I've been canning for 26 or 27 years. So I think 27. So I have been collecting jars for a long time. So some of these I got back in the 90s, and some of them just can't get in anymore. So, yep. So, sorry about my cough. You guys, I have been feeling a whole lot better. Looks like a seed box to you. You save all of your store food bought jars for dehydrated foods and herbs. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I have a couple other pint-sized jars that I want to show you. So this was the regular mouth, and here's my chicken soup in my regular mouth. See, chicken soup. There we go. And so you can see what it goes into and how I filled it up. So this being 2 cups, I can take it out. I use it just like it is. Might be a little bit too much for a meal. Probably more of a cup and a half would be better. But if I added noodles or rice to this and just cook it all in there, I can get 2 meals out of that. So it'll be really, really good. Okay, so pint jars. I'll show you another pint jar. I have some clear ones like this too, but I couldn't find them right offhand. So here's an amber jar. Now this is a wide mouth pint, but it's a whole different shape. Look at that. These are both wide mouths, both the same size, and it's square and squatty and amber color. These are great for if you wanted to, I mean, you can with them easily, but if you wanted to store something that you don't want light to affect at all, you know, whether it's herbs or, you know, some other kind of thing. But I mean, these are like, what do you call them? Special edition type of things or whatever. And I don't particularly care for the amber color, but I don't know, a few years ago I got just like 4 of them or something, so I have them. So yeah, it is a difference. So again, it depends on what you are canning. Now, if you want to fill this with salsa, that would be a great salsa jar. You could even like be able to get your chip in there and dip into it, or you know, or if you needed to fill it with yogurt or sour cream or something like that. So I know, yeah, these only come in cases of 4 anymore. Here's one more pint jar. That was like a special edition. It's got all of these edges. It's, I think they're 8. Yeah, it's an octagonal. And this is my homegrown peppermint that I have in here for my teas. And, but these are, you can use these in your pressure canner too. Just kind of a really neat shape. I really, really like them. And I think I only got a case of 4. And I'm like, I wish I'd gotten more when I had them. But anyway, some of these specialty jars, there's no guarantee that they're going to continue them, especially with the demand that's out there. You don't know. All right, I think that's it for my pint jars. Now I've got a whole bunch of half pint jars. So you tell me how many ounces is a half pint and how many cups is a half pint. So Megan, what was that? And I was trying to catch my foot on there. I got it. You just don't like soap with it. Okay. Oh, I know. You must be talking about cilantro, right? With that. Oh, Vicks. Oh, is there any reason not to just standardize to wide mouth? You don't like clean hair mouth. You know, if you want all wide mouth jars, go for it. It really becomes almost a personal thing in what you want to do. So use those for cranberry chutney. It looks pretty in the octagonal jars. Yes, it does. It looks beautiful in there. So I have these for my herbs right now, so they're kind of full of them at this point. But all right, Dave, I knew you'd be first. 8 ounces, 8 ounces in 1 cup. Yep. Pint is a pound the world around. I like that. So 16 ounces is a pint. And a half pint now is 8 ounces. And it's 1 cup. So there you go. Oh, I got it. So a pint is 2 cups. A half pint is 1 cup. So there are a whole bunch of different sizes. So right now I've got in my half pint jars, here's some applesauce that I made. And because it's just me, I can them in the half pint jars because otherwise there's, you know, I just don't go through it enough and then it starts growing little green things in your refrigerator and before I can get around to finishing it off. So, you know, again, can according to your family and according to your needs. I use a lot of the smaller jars just because I don't want a bunch of stuff in there. So that one is this jar. It's a regular mouth lid. And this is also a bell jar. So again, you want to make sure that these all fit on here. And I do have, for those of you who haven't done any canning yet, make sure that you get certified canning lids. You don't want lids that are going to unseal or buckle on you or something like that. You want to make sure, because you've spent the money on the food, you've taken the time to do that, and so you want to make sure that it's going to work. So either ball or cur lids. Stay away from the gold lids. Don't use mainstays. I accidentally used those, and I think I had 2 or 3 jars not seal out of like 6 or 7, and that is completely not acceptable to me. Not one bit. So our 8-ounce jars, 8 ounces, so that's 1 cup. You can also get this little squatty wide mouth jar, which I love for salsa. It's great, great for salsa or for different relishes, different things like that. So it's smaller, but it's wider, and all of these can go in the pressure canner. Here's another one that's a different shape here. It's also a 1 pint or a half pint, an 8-ounce jar, and it's a little bit squarish. And these are my homegrown dill seed that I have here. So I like these little jars for storing all of my herbs or my seasonings and different things like that. All right, here's another kind of fun jar that you can use for like butters or like apple butter, pear butter, the different things like that. Or even jellies or jams or something. And it's this really little flat one. And this is 8 ounces. It's a half pint. So, I mean, it looks really big because I have it up there, but again, it's a wide mouth, but it's very square and short. So, anyway, these come in packs of 4. Yes, it would, Patty. Absolutely. Use these for rubs, for Vicks, all different things. Yes, these would be great for lotions, salves, all that kind of thing that you would put in here. And it's a wide mouth ring, so or would use that. And so yeah, so all these different shapes that are 1 cup, but find them according to what you would need. Now here's kind of a vintagey one. Yes, spreads, absolutely, absolutely. I know they're really fun, really fun. So here is, knocking you guys off the screen. Just for fun, as a treat, kind of to myself, I got a 4-pack of these little vintage jars. So they're little blue mason jars, and they have kind of a vintagey, antique-y type of ring and lid with them. And these I'm using for herbs, so I can just keep them kind of special. And they come in different sizes, but the other one I have is a quart jar. So here's a little 1 cup and a 4 cup. And again, it has that kind of antique-y lid on them. But, as for the number of years I've been collecting jars and doing all this, is every once in a while I just kind of treat myself to something a little different. But yes, I'm using these for herbs. I don't have anything in there right now, but I do have others that have herbs. And here is one other amber jar. It's a quart jar. So this one was a pint, and this one is a quart. So there's 2 pints to a quart, all right? 16 ounces and 32 ounces, and they're both wide mouth. This one is, it's a little bit more squarish, not completely round like some of the others, but anyway, again, I'm using these for herbs so that sunlight doesn't bother them that much, because right now I just have them sitting out. So those are some of the other jars. Any questions on meat rub? Oh, meat rub, yep. Yep, the amber would be good for body rubs, absolutely. Okay, Karen, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Patty, I hear you. Oh, well, thank you. All right, so I want to show you a couple jars. You guys hang on because I do have something very important to show you. So don't leave. But this is a Pioneer Woman jar, Pioneer Woman, and you know it would fit you know, a regular ring, and so you're like, oh well, I could can in this and everything. It's like, nope, nope. First of all, these are the lids that come with it. But the other thing is, this glass is too thin, and it's all decorative in this way, so that compromises the strength and the integrity of the glass. And she says on the bottom here, do not use for canning. So it is pretty. I use this to ferment things in, and so that makes it really fun. Must have all the jars. Not quite. There was a couple that I wasn't able to find. So, all right, I want to get into, I'm not going to have time to get into lids, but the thing that I want to tell you guys, and let me get some of these jars off from in front of me, because I know I will have an accident otherwise. Okay, oh, one other quick thing. Do not can in something like this either. With this kind of top and this lid, you think that it would seal well. No, not meant for canning. So use it for your dry goods. Okay, so I've had an issue for the last 8 or 10 years since they came out with their new packaging with, and a lot of you probably haven't been canning that long. Yes, Teresa is a new jar for for storage. Now this is the way you buy your jars. This is the way we buy your jars. Okay, so they're in like a half thing. This is a half pint case, and so it's 8 ounces. It has a plastic thing on top. Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's the way jars come and everything else. Well, let me tell you that ball at some point kind of caved into the whole environmentalist type of thing, which I am totally on board of being a good steward of what we have and taking care of what we've got. And I think you guys know that from my videos and in all of our chats. But I have a real issue with this, because once you take this plastic off and once you fill your jars, it's crazy to try to store these, especially if, you know, you need this to stack them or anything like that. This is the way they used to come. This is the way jars used to come. Now these are, I never did show you the last little one. Yep, and they're a pain when they're half full. You can't do anything with them. This little 4-ounce chili jar. I forgot to show you that one. So, but that's what's in this case. So the way jars came for decades were in this wonderful, very, very, very well-built box. So, I mean, I could put this in here, and I could stack a full case of quart jars filled on top of it, and it would still be okay. The integrity would be good. Oh, that's good, Patty. So when you open them up, they have a box here that has all your lids and your rings on it. But it also provides protection for your jars. And so, and then some of them even have a whole nother cardboard in there that will sit on top of your jars to protect them. And then your jars have the little dividers in there. I only have two jars in there right now. But these little jelly jars even used to come with stickers that you could label on. It's just so cute. But this is how well they packaged them, which is so frustrating because this is all renewable products here. It's all paper. You know, everybody was freaking out about using paper because, you know, it's like, oh, our trees. But it's a renewable resource. Plastic is not a renewable resource. And Dave, correct me if I'm gone, or if I'm wrong, let's read this enough. The most, the biggest ingredient in making plastic is petroleum. And petroleum, yes, the same kind of thing that we get for cars, for heating our houses and everything, that is not a renewable energy. That is a limited resource, and yet they stopped making these wonderful pieces that you can continue to store things in. I mean, I've had this for over 25 years, and they're strong. You're not going to throw these out. You're going to take them. I store my, I keep these around and store my empty jars back in them. So as I use them and I empty them, or, you know, wash my jars and everything, put it back in here, and I can store it. I can even store it upright if I need to, and things are going to stay safe. They won't get broken. They won't get chipped. And here, you chip your jars. You're risking breaking them, falling out, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I wrote to Ball back in October, I think it was, and I just recently got an email from them. And they were very, very grateful for my suggestion. They're very open to it. They're going to check with their packaging department. They're going to look into this. But if you guys can write to them, and if one of my mods would take, I have the address below the screen. Excuse me. And it's to be able to go there and leave a comment and just ask them to go back to these cardboard boxes to be able to protect the jars that you're spending so much money on them. I mean, seriously, I got this case for probably about $4, $4.50. Oops, my light here. They also used to make, and I know some places you can find them in cases of 4. But these were the little round jelly jars like that, and they had the really cute lids on them and everything. And these are 1 cup or 8-ounce jars. Right now this is full of other stuff. But again, has the cardboard protector. Now I've got cowboy candy in there. And cowboy candy, applesauce, banana peppers, bruschetta. I've got a whole mismatch of jars in here because I can't find any of these, which I think I probably ended up giving them all to people with jelly in them, and I didn't get them back. But anyway, if you guys don't mind doing that, and then also, do you want me to do a separate video on just asking people to write in and on these jars, or is this live going to be good enough? So how did I do that? It's right at the top of the video description. Oh, Dave, you didn't have a space after with, and I think they picked that up for the link. But if you guys don't mind doing that, then the more people they hear from for saying we want the old box packaging back, and give the reasons. Don't get, you know, all up in arms and angry, but just tell them that it protects our jars, it protects what we have. We can actually stack these even when they're full. We're not using a non-renewable resource, you know, all this other kind of stuff. So I would really, really appreciate it. So do a separate video? Okay. Yeah, I know people don't really watch live replays very often, but Anyway, I know it's 7 o'clock. Some of you guys said you really learned something, and I hope you did. The link is too long for the chat window? Really? Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll go back and do that again. Well, let me see. There we go. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah. Oh, I know. So anyway, showed you some things to use, some things that no, shouldn't be doing, shouldn't be using. I didn't even get to the lids, but anyway, oh, okay, great. And yeah, so this took up a lot of time. But you guys, thank you so much for coming and for doing this. And yeah, I'm glad I was able to share this with you and that it helped. That's really interesting. Okay. Can you click on the one that I put up? And does that go to the right page? So anyway, yeah, to have fun with some of these jars and to use them for different things, not just canning. But yeah, the biggest thing is choose the jars for that you need to use for your own lifestyle and everything, for how much you're going to make, for the kind of food that you're going to use. Anything with chunks, like if you're going to can sausage or something, I would use wide mouth. Like I said, any type of meat, all that kind of stuff. Okay, great. Awesome. You guys, this is so great. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all your prayers. I am feeling so much better. Yeah, I've come out the other side of this, and I've heard people who got sick close to when I did a couple days before that they're still having a lot of lung issues. And so I am very, very grateful that I am healing as well as I am. And if Jerry is on here, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you, Patty. Hey, Fancy Farmer. I'm just getting off, just signing off here. So I hope you can go back and watch this because we had a lot of good stuff on here. But thank you guys. You guys take care. God bless. Always have hope, and start planning and canning. So, oh, I didn't give you my prep tip. Real quick, organize your pantry. Have a designated space for the empty jars. Use what you have canned. Don't just let it, just sit there and look at it for 3 or 4 years. Actually start using it. Use your oldest stuff first, and then you have more jars, the empty jars that you have to be able to can new stuff and try new recipes and everything. So there you go. Planning and canning, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Matt and Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.